Good morning. Give me a moment where I just quadruple check all of my things. Grand rising to each and every one of you. Happy hump day. It is Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't know what day of the week it is truly Wednesday, and it is a tad brisk out there. It was very mild and humid yesterday, but today, make no mistake, fall is upon us, ladies and gentlemen, which seems apropos. It is October. We are heading into November, a few months shy away from the new year. Lots of festivities are going to be, well, it's going to be different this year. It's going to be different because we live in a whole new world, and you know what? Shift is inevitable. Newness is inevitable. So sometimes, even when things look chaotic and things may seem or may very well be out of order, that's okay. Just know that a new order is on the horizon. Things have to get a little bit down and dirty. Things have to seem out of whack, and it's going to feel like that, especially if you feel out of whack. It's going to be hard to be hopeful and looking into newness with optimism when inside of you don't have that view for yourself. So needless to say, welcome to the Morning Stretch Podcast. Here is where you get your awareness with a lift. That's right, folks. I don't just bring you things that are good to know and then say, here, you're on your own, figure it out. No, we share, we learn, we grow by sharing and learning. It's a really good thing to do. It's a good place to be. It's a good place to be alive and with gratitude. I've been discussing these things for the last few days about how helpful it is for you to get the right footing. To have the right footing when you begin your day, and knowing that even if your day begins at 4 and 5, because I begin after 9. Well, I don't actually begin after 9. I show up here after 9, but my day starts relatively early as well, and I have learned that it serves you so much to begin your day on good footing. And if you have forgotten how to do that, no sweat. Here's a really cool, nifty way to remember when you open your eyes. And I want to add, folks, you can do this at any time of your day as long as you're not operating any mechanics or machinery, or you're not driving. Of course, use a discernment. But if you have a moment to be still and you feel a bit heavy and you're feeling emotional, you're feeling angry, whatever that looks like, you just don't feel good, you can do this exercise and it will reset you. It's like a recalibration for your system. You take a moment. You be very still as possible, and it may help for you to go somewhere. So if you're amongst people, they don't think that you're like having a seizure or something medical or something that you need attention to. Again, use your discernment, but it really takes just a few seconds. You just pause and you remember that God has given you life. You remember that every single person on this earth did not have the privilege of awakening today. That right there and of itself begins you on a whole new breathing. Suddenly you are more aware of your breath, and breath is important. Without it, you wouldn't be here. Without God, you wouldn't be here. So just aligning with that very first step, the pause. The pause is key, ladies and gentlemen. Take a moment for yourself, because we're so busy doing and wanting to accomplish and be everywhere and say and be and have and do. This is the natural order of living, I know that, but every so often it helps you to center yourself, to remember why it is that you're able to do what you're doing. So you take nothing for granted. You begin with acknowledging that you have been created with purpose. You've been acknowledging that you have life and that life is a gift. Life is truly a gift. It is a blessing to be alive. And when you have this at the forefront of you, it just makes everything else pale in comparison. Suddenly you are gifted with new energy and new hope and new insights. And speaking of insights, that is the theme of this week. Your insights are your guide to your tomorrow. And it is a privilege to have insights, to have a greater understanding of something perhaps that you didn't have once upon a time. It is a gift to be privy to knowledge. And it's not just about anything, it's usually about you. some form of expansion, some takeoff, some uplift that is going on or on its way to you. And these insights can show up at any particular day and time. For myself, I discussed earlier in the week that mine was showing up ironically at 3 a.m. at a time where I'd normally be asleep. I was awakened to scripture. I was awakened to a calling forward. I had a vision of myself being on this same platform in this same fashion, speaking to folks, being of encouragement and spreading good cheer, offering myself and my services as a support for folks, in addition to what they already may have or even lack thereof. I saw myself, but I also saw myself on a larger platform, a broader base, if you will. And some of those details at this point in time, it's several days later, I don't remember every sort of detail. However, it was enough for me to set the ball in motion to say, okay, God, what's next? How do I prepare and package myself for these things that you are calling me forward to do? So having insight is remarkable, especially now, because things are constantly shifting. Every day there's something new, a new vaccine, a new mandate, a new rally, a new protest, a new argument. It's every single day we are afforded new. And with free will, yes, we realize everyone isn't choosing newness in a good fashion or a healthy fashion. We cannot control the actions of others. We can only control the actions of ourselves. Even with us focusing upon ourselves, it's not selfish. Despite what you may have been told growing up, focusing on yourself is not selfish. It is the healthy thing to do. It is the right order of things for you to put yourself in a place that honors you, where you feel valued and respected, that doesn't come from outside of you, that comes from reflecting upon yourself. And when you do that, you allow spirit to connect with you. And therefore, you are allowed the truth. You are privy to the truth, ladies and gentlemen, which means you begin to see yourself in the same fashion that God sees you in. And there's nothing that knocks that out. There's nothing that can beat that. That is where you want to be. So every single day I talk to you about how to improve the relationship with yourself. That is the focal point of the Morning Stretch podcast. I talk to you about things that are concerning self. And if these things resonate with you, excellent. If not, tell a friend. Tell a friend, bring a friend, because we can all stand some areas of our life that need updating, upgrading our systems, folks. Once upon a time, we were running under some programming from our previous lives when we were children, when we didn't have choice, when we had no other choice but to be of influence of our communities, our households, our educational institutions. Today, we have choices. We're adults. We're more than capable of making decisions that honor who we truly are. Today, we get to decide who we are, who we want to be. I think that's a powerful place to be. Don't you agree? Being in the driver's seat, being able to acknowledge yourself and look at yourselves in the mirror and say, here I am, and what's next, and loving who you are, and growing the relationship with yourself, the language with yourself that honors you. You want to feel good. You want to feel good. You don't want to feel like you're less than or not worthy, and that's based upon what you were raised with. Perhaps what someone has been telling you for some period of time. That's okay. We're going to bless them because God will see that they are taken care of, just like He will see that you are taken care of. That's why we have forums like this. I am not the only human being that's out here saying, hey, love yourself, take care of yourself. This is how to do it. I'm just one of the many. I am one of the many, and I'm proud to be one of the many. I am proud to be here to say, you know what, I too, once upon a time. So you can have confidence in knowing that you are speaking to someone who has been here. I'm not speaking above myself like, oh, these things I cannot relate to. This is you. You need to fix that. Absolutely not. There's no judgment, there's no ridicule, and there's no shaming or blaming here at the Morning Stretch podcast. We speak truth with integrity, with kindness, and always, always, always with respect. So, good morning, Law 9829 sis. It's so good to see you. I'm so sorry. Sometimes I get on my morning spiel and I just forget to glance at the comments. Good morning, Green Label. Good morning, Nell. You have static? Oh, I am so sorry about that. Yesterday, I realized that when I watched the recap, by the way, folks, I don't know if it's still because of the issues I've been having with Instagram. I am multi streaming, so you can find me on YouTube as well as Facebook. I will send you the info. Again, it's been circulating on my page. I will put it out there again so you can find me static free because I haven't been able to post, I haven't been able to upload my content. I have no idea why. Just for the last few weeks, I haven't been able to post anything. Any attempt is null and void. So the only place you can catch the live if you aren't live, and if you are, you hear the interference, I apologize. I have no idea where it's coming from. This was not the case some time ago. I had clear streaming. These days, I have no control over it. I haven't done anything out of the ordinary, added new equipment or taken anything away. It's the same studio setup 5 days a week. I have no idea why now there's a tapping sound or there's this static sound. I have no idea. Please bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Do your best to hear the message inside of the please don't be distracted, in other words, by the distractions. I will do my best in the future to make sure that these things go away because, as I said, once upon a time, they weren't here. I don't know what's going on. Moving right along, I'd like to say, inside of today's topic, I'm not going to beat a dead horse, meaning I'm not going to say the same things 30, 40 times just to fill the space of an hour. I know that's not required. Once again, please tune into my Facebook page if you'd like to catch the recaps if you missed it Monday and Tuesday. We are now here live and direct from New York City. It is now Wednesday, and we are talking about insights into tomorrow. When you tune into yourselves, magic happens. You not only begin to seek, sift, and sort through all of the matters that make you who you are, you get to see what's working. You get to actually acknowledge, okay, so this does work. This is okay. I do feel good about this. Alternatively, you get to also discover what isn't working for you, what can stand some updating, some improvement. Some things may need to be washed away entirely. Like, in other words, they no longer serve you. Why do you need to keep them? Remove those things so they can be occupied with things that actually benefit and serve you. Tuning into yourself affords you this process, this fall cleaning. You know, there's a spring cleaning, there's a fall cleaning. Did you know that? You have the opportunity every single day to sift and sort. I made the analogy yesterday. When you have an event to attend, even if you don't have an event, when you just decide to get dressed for the day, you go to your closet, you go to your drawers, wherever you keep your clothing, and you begin this process. This is too red. I don't like polka dots. This doesn't fit. Maybe if I have this with this, I should order that. There's a process that happens when you get dressed. You don't just grab anything and go out the door. You're very selective about what you want to look like because it matters to you. You're seeking to make an impact, even if the impact is just, I want to presume that I care about myself because I do, and I want to appear as though that I am tending to myself. I want to look appropriate. At least that is what seems logical in the world of getting dressed for the day. And you don't just put anything on. You don't just overlook these things, buttons versus zippers or suspenders. You take your time with that process. So everything in your life can be, this same philosophy can be applied. Take your time with yourselves. Sift and sort. See what works, see what doesn't work. See what's fitting, what's complementary. Does this shade look good on you? Does this way of living look good on you? You have every single opportunity afforded to you to do so. You don't have to wait for someone to be present to do this. You don't need permission. This is your life. It's your closet. It's your home. I can give you tons of analogies that is still going to arrive you at the same place. What would you like for yourself going forward? Because when you start to have this language with yourself, then magic happens. You will find yourselves doing mundane activities, laundry, walking. You'll be doing everything that just seems so normal, even something simple like making your bed. And suddenly, Inspiration will strike you. Suddenly you'll get a thought, you'll get a feeling. Maybe you'll hear it from a song that's playing and it'll generate some thoughts. It's no limit to the way that your spirit, the universe, is consistently communicating with you, but you often don't see it. You don't hear it. You don't feel it because you're focused on other things. And when you start to pay attention to yourself, you'll get clear about what those things are. And if they serve you, they will propel you forward. And if they don't, they will weigh you down. This system will serve you every single time. It will not fail you. This tuning into yourself is so powerful that you realize that you are this creator of your own experiences, meaning you call forth every single aspect of your life, good, bad, or indifferent. You are always in the driver's seat. You always have the opportunity to choose for yourself what is best for yourself. And I understand if we look back just a little bit for this moment, you may not be aware of what is actually best for you because you've been living a life for so long under the auspices of, well, this is what I saw once upon a time. This is what my experiences afforded me once upon a time. This is what has continuously showed up over a period of time. So with that being said, you now believe that because it's been that way, it's always going to be that way. So you use phrases like, it's always going to be this way. I'm always going to be alone. I've always felt broken. I always get my heart broken. People always treat me poorly. I'm a good person. I don't understand why this happens. Or sometimes that language may not be anything like that at all. Excuse me. It may be quite the opposite, where you're literally holding yourself down underwater and you feel trapped. You feel alone and isolated from everyone else. You feel misunderstood. And that certainly isn't the way to live life. You can continue to do so, and it will continue to give you those undesirable results. So at some point of your life, you will be afforded the opportunity to ask yourself, is this the way you want to carry out the rest of your life? Never mind what has already happened, because that is indeed the past. It's already occurred. So with that being said, what would you like going forward? Because you get to choose. Maybe you thought you didn't have choices before. That's okay. I'm letting you know today you have a choice. What would you like? What would you like to do, have, be going forward? Your insights are the key to just that. Your insights allow you to see what your tomorrow will hold. And that's something to be excited about. It's something to get fired up about. If you can't remember the last time you've been fired up about something, tuning into yourself allows insights into your tomorrow. What do you want your tomorrow to look like? This is something that has no bearing on anyone else. This is all about you. You in your precious life. You in your abundant energy. You being valuable. You being worthy. It's entirely up to you. You decide what that looks like. And when you tune into yourself, you can find out just what these things are. When you tune into yourself, you can find out what is it that you truly want. What works for you? What doesn't work for you? It's entirely up to you. The studio puppy is here. I don't know if you can see him, but he's here. So, moving right along, the magic that is you. The magic that is you. No matter what has happened in your past before, ladies and gentlemen, I am living proof sitting here telling you that you can shift. You can become greater than those circumstances. You can love again. You can heal. You can have healthy, happy, harmonious relationships. Begin with the one with yourself. Start here. Don't look outside of you and say who's not giving you, who didn't show up correctly, although you were giving your best, you were putting your best efforts forward. That may be happening in your world, not because you are an awful person, but it's happening so you can bring yourself back to you. Because you have somehow managed to overlook the very preciousness that is you. You may have somehow forgotten to take care of you first, to put yourself first, to tend to your own affairs, meaning, what do you want? What do you need? Is it time to adopt a new language? Is it time to adopt a whole new way of living and being? I made a cheat sheet for you some time ago about the things that you are able to control. There are tons of things that are out of your control. Let's not focus so heavily upon that. You're not blind to it. You're aware, but I want you to focus more on yourself. I think there isn't enough talk about that. There isn't enough praise when it comes to who we are as individuals. That's why I have this forum. That's why Freestyle Fridays are so important, because it's just one day. Although I encourage everyone to do this every day, but I know one day out of the week I can grab your attention and say, this is the day that you pause and you reflect and you celebrate you. You don't do that enough. You don't acknowledge and appreciate yourself enough. And yet you are probably, I'd bet the farm, consistently seeking that from others. And you're not going to be able to get that because you haven't given it to yourself. You haven't been able to take the time out to acknowledge how important you truly are, to develop kindness towards yourself. And I know I've heard so many times, Coach, what does the relationship with myself have to do with me finding a partner or being treated well or anything of that sort? Why is it so important that I give myself these things when I really want these things to be given to me? Because it is a direct relationship between the two. The very things you are seeking from others, they must come from within first. You want to put yourself in a powerful seat, in a position, which is where you always are, so you can be receiving. And the reason why you receive is because it's already activated within you. You are already that beaming bright light. You are already showcasing and carrying inside of you the very things that you are seeking. So you are now light. You are now a light. You are a magnet to all of those things, that richness, that abundance, that love, that kindness, that respect. You already have these things. So you being that magnet, it just makes sense that those who share that same energy will be put on your path. They will be attracted to you. You are a great attractor. You just have to fine-tune what you're attracting. Fine-tune the view of yourself. Fine-tune the love that you have for yourself. It is integral to your well-being. It is the very reason why you are here, why you were created with purpose. God did not make any mistakes with you. Your experiences are designed to bring you back to that relationship with your Creator, so you don't feel you are alone, that you know you are always supported, because you are. Provide the opportunity for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, and see the results. And reach out to those who may be of great assistance to you, because you may not know how to do that. This may seem very daunting, like, oh my gosh, forget about everyone else and just focus on me. I've met so many women and men that have given their lives to others wholly, that when they're faced with, now I have to just accept and deal with myself, they don't know how to do that. They don't know where to begin. That's okay. That's okay. Please turn to sources that can be a source of inspiration and encouragement to you. Like myself, be a guiding light for you. I can show you how to develop more meaningful connection with yourselves, more healthy language with yourself, so you can grow to appreciate, honor, and value the you that is you. Go figure. When you pay attention to yourself, you learn how to trust yourselves. You begin to trust implicitly your decision making, and you discover that every other sort of thing in life stems from this new connection that you have found within yourselves. It's never too late. It doesn't matter how old you are, ladies and gentlemen, you can begin right here, right now, today. I encourage you to move your feet in the direction of you. This will always serve you. God is here, always will be, waiting, accepting, and loving you. All you need to do is show up. Now, with that being said, time check is now 9:57. As I said, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I said I'm going to show up today. I'm going to be succinct. I'm going to provide the awareness. I'm going to show you that inside of this awareness, you need not fear. You need not fear that you're incapable. You need not second guess. Trust that this path that you are embarking upon is right on time. Trust your insights. They are the road to your tomorrow. It is now time for you to trust in a higher authority. It's time for you to place your trust under the influence of God. This is where your clarity comes from. This is where your peace and your ease in your body comes from. This is where joy and abundance and a life more fulfilling for you comes from. It doesn't come from every other sorted thing in place and person. It shows up when you show up. And you want to show up for yourself. You want to be good to yourself. You want a life that is good, and you are certainly deserving of it. Show up. That is the beginning step. Show up and be aware of the magic that happens. Start seeking more than just your everyday humdrum, I gotta do, I gotta be, and I have to in my to-do list, and. These things are a part of life, yes, but this is not the whole entire reason for your existence. And so inside of this everyday humdrum, I'm sure you have begun to feel that you would like to see more, that you are actually seeking more from life and from yourselves. Because there is more to life than just that humdrum, that everyday, day in and day out, with no real feeling or attachment to the things that you're doing. It's easy to feel lost and confused or angry. That's okay. It's only because you haven't connected to yourselves. Once you do, lots of clarity starts to show up for you. Lots of ease begins to ensue. It's like your spirit is saying, finally, come, take my hand, let's begin. That's exactly what happens, and your insights begin to show up. You begin to see them. They were always there, but now you can see them. You can feel God's presence. You can feel your own presence, and your posture changes, and the way you view yourself begins to change, and optimism begins to ensue, and the world outside of your window begins to look very different. Now you're ready to show up in a whole new way that's going to be healthy. You're going to become a wonderful creator. You always were. It's just you didn't know that you were actually creating the world that you're a part of. But now that you know, you can begin creating in a whole new fashion that's actually healthy, that's helpful, not just to yourself and your loved ones, but everyone that you come in contact with. Your path will alight for you. You will discover that you are lit. And these are wonderful things. This is a wonderful place to be. And the road to such things begins with you. So, hey, here's the thing. Once again, if you aren't aware of how to do that, how to begin, I am here for you. You can give me a call. You can book some one-on-one time with me so we can begin the road to your fulfillment, because it very well may be time for some upgrading. You may be seeking that next level up, seeking more fulfillment for yourself, and you are deserving of that. Come, take my hand. Let's begin together. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I will be sharing with you today, if I am able, fingers crossed, all of my contact info so you can reach me. For IG folks, you know, you can always just click that book now. Facebook as well, there's always that book now, but there is a telephone number as well if you don't want to click the book button. And alternatively, you'd like to speak to a person, absolutely, please do. I encourage you to do so. That number is 866-989-8404. No sweat. You don't have to commit this to memory. I will post this today across all of my platforms. That is YouTube, Facebook, as well as Instagram. So you can reach out to me when you are ready. I am here for you. You are not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. You are at the right place at the right time, and you are lining up for things that have been waiting for you. Connect with me today. It's connecting with yourself today. It's a nice little package deal. You connect with you connect with me. It's like, hey, win-win. Let's do it. So, I'm going to get on out of here. I want you to enjoy this blessed day. Please dress appropriately. It is a tad chill. I believe the high is only going to be maybe 55 or 60 today. So please dress appropriately. And God willing, we will be here again today to bring more awareness, more insights into your tomorrow. I am excited about this newness that is on the horizon for us as a whole, globally. It's time. All of these world affairs that are going on, it's just a clearing of what is no longer serving so the new can ensue. You have to trust that God knows what he's doing. It is chaotic out there. It is madness. This is the best time for you to get clear about where you stand, who you are, what your contribution is, so you can be a part of that newness, so you can be able to be healthy and happy going into the tomorrow, and your insights will show you how to do that. I will assist you in that journey. I am excited to do so. So enjoy your day, ladies and gentlemen, because you are deserving of a good day. Enjoy, 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 enjoy.